This week, we're embarking on a journey into the heart of Buddhism. We'll begin with the basics, exploring the teachings that shape this way of life. Then we'll immerse ourselves in the experience by spending a night in a monastery, meeting a local community, and spending time with the monks as they share their insights through 16 thought-provoking questions about being a Buddhist.
Good morning, country collectors. Sawadee Kap, and welcome back to the amazing Kingdom of Thailand. In this week's adventure, we are going to be discussing something that is very near and dear to my heart, and that is Buddhism. Over these past few months, we have been attending some wonderful ceremonies and celebrations, and they all revolve around this amazing concept. So why don't we go and get our Om on and check it out together. Buddhism is founded on the teachings of Siddhartha Gautama, also known as the Buddha, who lived over 2,500 years ago. He was a prince in the royal family of Nepal that was deeply moved when he encountered the realities of old age, sickness, and death. At the age of 29, he left his royal life to seek the truth about suffering and how to overcome it. After years of searching, he attained enlightenment while meditating under the Bodhi tree, realizing the middle way, the place between indulgence and extreme self-denial. As the Buddha, he spent the rest of his life teaching the path to enlightenment based on compassion and the search for inner peace. His teachings are based on understanding the nature of suffering and how to end it. And the way you do this is with the Four Noble Truths, which are like the foundation of what Buddhism is built on. The first one is that life is suffering. The second one is that suffering comes from desire and attachments. The third is that there can be an end to the suffering. And the fourth is that by following the Eightfold Path, you can end the suffering as well as attain enlightenment. Pretty amazing and so simple, powerful, beautiful. What an amazing sound, as it resonates out to the world. You can feel it resonate into your soul as well. These are all parts of what Buddhism is. It's about that unity. It's about the understanding of the way of things. And sometimes it's these simple truths that can be so hard to define or truly understand. So the next step on our journey to understand Buddhism is the Eightfold Path. And the first on the Eightfold Path is the right understanding, and that's knowing the truth about life and suffering. The second is the right intent. That means focusing on the right thoughts and the right intentions. Sometimes our actions have unintended consequences, but what's important is that our intention in the beginning was good. Number three is the right speech, and that means speaking kindly and truthfully all the time. Number four, right actions. That means doing good things without harming any living thing, including yourself. Number five is the right livelihood, and that means choosing a job that not only helps to improve yourself, but to also improve your community. Number six is the right effort, which means that what you're doing is always in an attempt to be the best that you can. Number seven is the right mindfulness, which is being aware of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. And mindfulness is a huge part of Buddhism. It's something that takes continuous effort. And number eight is the right concentration. That really comes from meditation. When we meditate, we take the time away from our busy schedules and our busy days and the TV and the internet, and we actually go into ourselves. Something that I use, something that's helped me immensely to be a better meditator, is using something like one of the apps that's available on the internet. I use Calm. This is not a paid advertisement. It's just something that I've found has really helped me. You can do 10-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute meditations, but they guide you. They guide your breathing. They really help you to find that place that you need in your mind. Think about it. It can really help. Kapung kap. Now that we've talked about the basics of Buddhism, you're probably thinking, Adam, how does this apply to me? I don't live 2,500 years ago. But the truth is, I believe Buddhism can be applied anywhere and to everything. And it's actually helped me so much in my life. From things like my breakup, which was one of the hardest things I've ever done, to counseling my friends who are suffering or in pain, to making the right decisions, and to finding what I truly believe is the best version of myself. And I have been so fortunate here in Thailand to have had some teachers and masters that have taken the time to deepen my understanding of Buddhism. And I'm so grateful to them. Kapung Kap. I also got to go and spend a night in a monastery 2 hours from here out in the forest, where I met a monk that speaks perfect English, Tong Chi, and he answered some questions that I've had for over 20 years that I just never could find the answers to. So I would love to share that with you right now. We got to spend the night there, do chores with them, hang out with them, get up in the morning and do takbat with them. And they were some of the kindest and most wonderful people that I've ever met. So why don't we go and get our monk on? I'll see you there.
Is it clear for suffering? Is it clear, or you try to deceive yourself?
I think that we, as people, we try to deceive ourselves into thinking that the things we desire are necessary, but they're not necessary, and that is the root of our suffering.
Yeah.
Because when you make yourself those things, like you said before, if you're in love and she dies or he dies, do you die too? And maybe you do a little bit inside, but I think that we say, I am a lawyer, I am a doctor, I am this, and when we lose that, then we lose ourselves, as opposed to existing in a temporary state that we're in, because life is temporary. We're in that cycle of constant movement.
This is very clear example that we just raised it. I mean, things have cause and effect.
Yeah.
If you do the good cause, it will come the good effect as well. Just like we grow, the mangoes tree.
Yeah.
Finally, we get the mangoes. The same thing. So we grow the mango. Of course, we cannot get the jackfruit or something. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yes. I mean, again, it's such a simple, profound thing. And unlike maybe in Catholicism, whatever, like you can ask for forgiveness, but the difference in Buddhism is that your karma is based on your actions.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can be forgiven, but you still have to pay the price.
Yeah.
Whether it's you or your family in this life or the next life.
Right.
Because the scales must be balanced.
Exactly.
And I think that's what separates Buddhism, is that we are responsible for what we do.
So Adam, I'll tell you something. We know forgiveness means you forgive something. You forgive someone from something. But karma still stand. It's not disappear. Forgiveness is more than words.
And that's a hard lesson.
Yeah.
It's easy to say, it's okay, or it's easy to say, I'm sorry, but if you don't mean it in your heart, then they're just words, and words are just the wind in the trees.
If you want to revenge, for how long? How many lives that you have to come to this circle?
And I've been so guilty of that. Anger, holding on to anger, being upset, wanting things to be my way. But the truth is, there is just the way.
Yes.
And when you allow yourself to, you can fight the river, you can fight the current, but you'll never get anywhere.
Yes.
It's when you join it, when you flow with it, that everything comes together.
Yes.
And when your heart can be free.
Just make your freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom from your thinking.
Freedom from your suffering.
Yes. Suffering, just leave it there. I know it's not easy.
The Dharma is not a choice. The Dharma is your path. And whether you choose to follow it or not, it still is your path.
Right.
And by resisting the Dharma, you create more suffering for yourself, because you don't want to recognize where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing. This journey, this life that we're all living, it's so fragile. And I think that so many of us are not walking the path we're supposed to be walking. And we keep saying, when I get old, when I retire, when, in 10 years, in 20 years, but we don't know if we have one day, let alone 10 or
Right.
20 years. And then what happens then? Are you sick?
Yeah.
Are you too old?
Yeah.
Do you not have any money? Do you not have, and these once in a lifetime opportunities become lifetime regrets
Yeah.
because we didn't get to live our true selves.
Yeah.
And I think
No,
that's
if you know it, if you know this word, I mean this sentence, it cannot harm you.
Yeah.
So no one touch you. Believe me, because you know yourself. After you know yourself, it's not difficult for you for anything. You have the way out for all the problems. Believe me, because you stay for a while. You know yourself. You see, because sati.
sati.
Yeah, sati is mean that you know in every gesture opposed to that you are. You know yourself already. When the problem come, sometimes experience teach you about how to do or not to do the same thing. You will know it and how to solve the problem. It will come automatically. Believe me.
We were saying mindfulness. Is that about being in the present moment, or does mindfulness extend to something deeper than that?
The present is mean that right now. It's not later on. It's not. Few minutes ago. But this, single minute. Yeah,
Right.
here, right here, and right here is not right there. It's not over there, right?
It's right here.
Yeah, it's right here. Just like you do the button, right?
Yeah.
You make your button. If you think the right thing, of course, for the whole button, it means that of course you do the right. If you make the wrong one, of course, the rest of them is mean you make it wrong.
And I think that we forget that our garden of our mind, of our hearts, is so much of a responsibility. If you plant one thing, if you're planting seeds of anger,
Yeah.
you can only grow anger.
Yeah.
And if you're planting seeds of happiness and love and compassion, then that's the fruit that you will bear.
Yeah.
Because if you allow those things to plant themselves deep enough, once that tree grows,
Yeah.
to take the tree away is so much work
Yeah.
versus just a weed. You can have weeds grow and you just take them out and say, okay, now the garden is clean.
Yes, that's why you mentioned about the garden. The same thing. Don't look at other garden. Just look at your garden as well.
Yeah.
We are not a green eye monster on that,
Yeah.
but we have to taking care of our garden as well. By doing what? Wash it, clean it. Take the grass out and make it try to build it. Put more water, put more fertilizer on it. Just like what? Just practicing on it. Yeah, do it and do it again, over and over again, until it's become like professional garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. One word I want to leave with it now. So the word compare with word is equal.
Equal.
Yeah. If you are better than one other, like this, of course, it's unequal. For sure. You have to do like this. It's balance.
Balance.
That we call balance.
And I think that's one of the main principles in Buddhism. It's finding that balance
Yes.
Between yourself, between your commitment, between the community, between the
Exactly.
world.
Right.
To have to, like you mentioned before, seeking out the truth for yourself.
Yeah.
It's easy to look at someone and think, oh, they're so successful, they're so happy. Look at all the things they have, but we all suffer. We're all suffering. Even you suffer. And I think that you hit on something before. You said we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to other people.
Yeah.
But the only thing we should compare ourselves to is the previous version of ourselves and what version we want to be.
Of course.
Because that's the only comparison that matters. But by trying to say, oh, they have so much more than me, they're so much better than me, or I am so much, even worse than that, I'm so much better than them. And
You never get them happy in your life.
and you can't find that happy.
Yeah.
Something I learned recently was
the breathing is so important, but it's that small space
No one
between
explain like this.
the when you breathe in,
Yeah.
that moment,
Mhm.
and when you breathe out, that moment of stillness.
Yeah.
That's where we should try to live.
Every single of your heart breath, your breathing,
Yeah.
you have to know it. Try to understand it, to know what is inhale or exhale, and know even your life. Don't believe because I'm your professor.
Yeah.
Don't believe because of the rumors. Don't believe because of she is your mother. Don't believe it
Yeah.
until you learn it.
Improve it for
Yeah,
yourself.
you learn it. You study on it until you get bright on it. And you know every single of angle. You know any of angle, you know it.
Yeah.
And then you will get the answer by yourself.
It's like when you get a nice car and you drive down the coast,
Yeah.
and when you're driving it, when you're in that moment, you're not thinking, this is mine. This is mine forever.
Yeah.
You're just living in that moment. When you rent a beautiful
Mhm.
place to stay, you don't pretend that they're yours. But when we live our everyday lives, we pretend that our house is ours forever. We pretend that our job is ours forever. That our love is ours
Yeah.
forever. But those are not the truth, because nothing is forever. Always breathing.
Do it. And people shout on you, people angry with you, don't angry back. It means that they also already have the one crazy dog. Would you another crazy dog like them? Like him?
Yeah.
No. Anything you can destroy all the thing. If they are the dog, you don't open the door for the crazy dog. How does crazy dog come to your house?
Wow.
The same. Mm-hmm.
It's so simple,
Yeah.
but it's something that I think we all just overlook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just don't let the dog in.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They say that okay, they shout on you, they angry with you, they more angry with them. You want to win
Yeah.
that battle.
Yeah.
Of course, how you got it, how you get it. Yeah, war and war, who's win?
No one.
Yeah, of course you said that. Okay, I'm win, but finally, what is the destroy? What you can what? I mean, behind you, what the what the
destruction.
ruins? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Okay, if that's why the compromisation. But I don't want to touch it. But the thing is, nobody want to talk about the compromisation. It means that you lose your face.
Yeah.
But the thing is, no, you are win. Win of what? Win of your heart. Win of yourself. Okay, I'm the loser. If you say, hey, you are the loser. And then what? I'm the loser. Sometimes you step back for one step, but you can move forward for 10 or more steps, more than 10 steps or more 100 steps.
Yeah.
That's why.
But like I know for me, when I lost my job during COVID, and I started this YouTube channel to share the world with people, and I had to sell everything I own. Everything I own fits in one little bag, and that's all my possessions in the world. And I think it really changed my mindset, because whatever you own, wherever it is, even if it's a wheelbarrow with a flat tire out in your backyard, it has to occupy a space in your mind. So when you're trying to be the best version of yourself, when you're trying to find enlightenment or just be a good person, part of you has to be there holding these possessions in their places. And that's something that I think we overlook, because we think owning more and more is what's going to bring us happiness, but it's actually taking away from our happiness.
So, have you seen the rock? Have you hold the rock for some time?
No.
Yeah, even you hold the chairs. Yeah.
Hold the chair.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it heavy?
It's heavy.
Yeah, and put it down. How do you feel?
Much better.
Yeah, same thing.
Wow.
Same thing.
Yeah.
We don't hold it.
Yeah. No,
we are not hold it.
Yeah.
That's why we try to. Okay, it just stay there. Just leave it.
Yeah.
We don't put it and hold it out in our hand. It's burden.
It is a burden.
Yeah.
And that's like we said, the possessions, it's not about possessing something. It's about what you do with it.
Yeah.
And that's why money isn't evil. We say money is the root of all evil, but money is not evil. The person that wields it is the evil one. Money is just an object.
Yeah.
It's just a vessel.
Yeah,
and you can use it for yourself or for others.
Of course.
And if you're using it for the right reason, just like love, you can love yourself for the wrong reasons. But loving other people and yourself for the right reasons, that's what we're all searching.
That's right. Why you have to fear?
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Yeah.
If you know it, you don't fear about it. You don't fear on it. Because you don't know, that's why you are fear on it. People, they're afraid of ghosts because of what? They don't know how the ghosts look like.
Yeah.
Because they just imagine the ghost will be so terrible, so
Scary.
Yeah, but how does it look like? The same thing. Some people say, "Oh, I'm afraid of darkness," because of what? Because they have no light. The word is know and don't know, unknown.
Wow.
Yeah. If you know it, never and ever that you will fear on it.
I feel like I know a lot about different religions, but I think that there's something that is so unique about the belief of the Buddhist that allows for that. Like if you're a Christian, unless you're a Christian, everyone else is going to hell. If you're Jewish, if you're Muslim, if you're any of them, if you're not what I believe, then you're wrong, and everyone is going to be punished for that. Whereas in Buddhism, you can be a Buddhist Catholic, you can be a Buddhist Jewish, you can be a Buddhist Muslim, because you are like, Buddhism is like the body, and the religions are like the arms and the legs, but it's the core of the Buddhism that allows for everything to exist together.
Yes.
And that's what separates it from everything else. So do you think that Buddhism is for everyone? Could anyone be a Buddhist? Could anyone follow the path?
Yeah, of course. No matter what, no matter who you are, where you're from. But if you, I believe that for all the religion, still, teaching people to be the good people, good person.
And there are many paths to enlightenment, to find it. And you don't have to, like you said before, a monk doesn't have to be a monk like with the robe. You can be a monk in your heart.
Right.
And you can be the poor man who's sweeping the streets, or you can be the rich man in his tower. But if you have the right heart, then it doesn't matter. You are a monk.
Great man is not from the rich person.
Yeah.
Great man is from their heart. They dedicate himself to others.
Wow. I can't even begin to express how grateful I am. I know I've said it, but you taking this time out of your very busy schedule of what you dedicated yourself to explain this to us. I feel like this knowledge and this compassion and this love that you've shared is just, it's something that can help so many people. And
I'm pleased to do it. Yeah.
That was the first time I've ever really been able to talk to a monk like that, where I could ask questions and get answers, and that was so powerful. It was so powerful to give more than to receive, to give up on those things that don't matter in your life, to be the best version of yourself. It's stuff that I knew, but it's not stuff that I'd ever heard put into words like that before. I'm so grateful for it. I know I get very emotional. I get it. I've had comments about it, but the truth is, this is a new me. I didn't know I was broken when I got here. And I think I was broken before I got here because I didn't feel like this. I didn't have the sort of depth in my heart and that I could feel, and the joy and the sadness and the everything. So Kapun Kap again, Thailand, thank you so much for sharing your amazing culture and your Buddhism. And I am truly touched in my heart, truly.
After the interview, I had a chance to spend some more time with the monks, just hanging out and getting to know them better. It was such a special experience, just talking, sharing stories, and connecting. I was honestly surprised by how open and relatable they were. Later, the community prepared the monks one meal of the day, and after they finished, we actually got to sit down and share some food together. It was a great opportunity to talk more and learn about each other. The people of Isan are really the kindest and most friendly people I've ever met. In the afternoon, I explored the monastery grounds, seeing where they live and taking some time for quiet reflection and meditation in a peaceful forest setting. Then, we took a ride into town where the monks met with some of the local people and shared their wisdom and advice, which was really insightful. On the way back, they were kind enough to drop me off at a local restaurant where I enjoyed dinner with some new friends and some interesting entertainment before heading back to the monastery for the night. After a good spray down with some insect repellent, I set up my monk-style bed, a simple mat and fan, and settled in for the night. I'll see you in the morning.
Good morning, country collectors. What a beautiful morning it is. I slept really well last night. I wasn't sure what to expect, kind of just being out in nature. It was a little bit like camping, but with a better pad and a fan, which was saved the day. They also, in their infinite sweetness, the monks, after I said goodnight to you last night, they brought me pajamas so I would be more comfortable. Check this out. I mean, pajamas, toothbrush, a little bit of enlightenment. What more could you ask for? Right now it's around 5:30. I got up at 4:30 and did some walking meditation and then some seated meditation. And now I'm just watching the sun fully rise. And then around 6 we're going to be heading out to do the morning alms. If you watch the Best Day in Bangkok video, we go to the monks there. Well, here the monks go to you. So we're going to actually be going to people's houses to receive the offerings for the food for them. So it's going to be a very unique experience and something that I hope that you are excited for, or at least interested to see how it's going to all work out. This has just been such a beautiful experience so far, and I am so grateful that you got to be here with me. So let's keep it going.
After I packed up my bed from the night and changed my clothes, I helped with the morning chores by cleaning and preparing the truck and dog for the ride into town for morning alms or takpat. Early in the morning, monks walk through the streets in their saffron robes, holding their alms bowls. The community, often barefoot and with peaceful smiles, waits quietly to offer food, which is usually rice and simple dishes. Now, what makes takpat so special is that it's not just about feeding the monks. It's about giving. It's a chance for people to show generosity and earn merit for the day ahead. It's an exchange of kindness, the monks blessing the offerings, and the people sharing what they can. It's a truly beautiful cycle of community and compassion. It's moments like these that make you pause and reflect, even if you're just watching. It's like witnessing a little slice of peace in an otherwise busy world. And trust me, if you ever have the chance to experience it, it will be more than just a good story. You'll leave with a full heart.
While I'm out here with them, seeing the happiness that the people have when they are giving their food. They don't have much, but what they do have, they give freely. It's not just the food they're giving, it's their hearts, it's their kindness, and it's overwhelming when you see those smiles, when you see that genuine happiness, that genuine gratefulness to the monks and for what they do for the community. And I am grateful isn't even the right word, because this is one of those things that is so unique, something that is so special, and something that we got to do together with them. And it's beautiful. And I hope that this experience has given you some more answers. I hope that it has shown you a little bit of what Buddhism is and how it can be a guideline for your life. It's not a religion, it's a way of life. It's something that gives us these lists, these rules of how to be a good person, how to be a happy person, what it means to be. And it's just, wow. I hope that you got as much out of this as I did. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to ling the bell. We will see you next time. Oh.